Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. I'm Pinky Webb. Today on the program, Gong Xi Fa Cai. We are one day away from the Chinese New Year. What lies ahead in the year of the metal ox? And what are the lucky and unlucky animal signs this year? Feng Shui expert Patrick Lim Fernandez joins us live. And today is the eve of the Lunar New Year, and with everything that happened in the last 12 months, especially with the pandemic, we could all use a bit of luck in the year of the metal ox. What lies ahead for us? This time around, let's go straight to the source of the story. Feng Shui expert Patrick Lim Fernandez. Patrick, good to see you again. Of course, this has been a tradition every year. Gong Xi Fa Cai.
Yes, Gong Xi Fa Cai, Pinky, and I hope you have a prosperous and abundant year ahead, and along with all of our viewers as well.
It's the year of the, is it called the mighty metal ox? What does the metal ox actually symbolize?
Sure. So the mighty metal ox, there's a lot there, so let's break it down. So if we remember last year, it was also a metal year. It was the golden rat, and the energy then was more a yang energy, which is more aggressive, it's more unstable, and it's more similar to like a sword or an axe. And this year, it's the yin side, so it's a lot calmer. And what we can expect this year is a lot less volatility, a lot less chaos, and just a better year overall compared to last year. And the word mighty is interesting because we think of the ox as being, a large animal, very powerful animal, so mighty indeed. But the key this year is, there's a growing notion that being calm is actually a superpower. So we associate power with, loudness, brashness, and being like an alpha type. But the interesting thing is volume does not always equal authority, and sometimes the loudest voice is not always might. So the key thing is by being calm, you can control your emotions and so on. And actually, that's what gives you the might this year in the yin metal ox. So there's some comparison there with the year last year.
I like that when you said that you should remain calm, because that would actually mean you can control your emotions. So it was a yang last year, and now it's the yin.
Correct.
Okay,
correct.
But
the polarity, yes.
Yeah, so obviously the two opposite ends. It's the year of the metal ox. I think it's the first year again, what I read, since 1961. So what does this mean for us?
Sure. So it means a few different things. So the first part is the yin metal. So compared to the sword or the axe last year, the yin metal is more similar to jewelry or precious metals like gold or silver. And what that means is there's a few things one can keep in mind in terms of energies that are prevalent. The first is there's sort of a charismatic energy. So people will generally gravitate toward each other, be more attractive toward each other. So that's definitely good. So the key thing there is just be genuine to yourself, leverage your strengths, and be genuine in terms of sharing your talents. So with all of that, the charisma would go through, and you'll find yourself in a good position to be a leader, to share your ideas and thoughts, and that should be good for this year.
Don't forget what Patrick said, huh? Be genuine and share your talent with others.
Exactly. But one thing to watch out for, though, is even though it's a precious metal year, all that glitters is not gold. So one should still prioritize substance over style and seek the truth. And I think one very common thing we see these days where this comes out is the prevalence of fake news. So sometimes if we read a headline and it's too good to be true, it usually is. So always seek the truth, go deeper than just the surface, and then try to weed out what's real and what's not.
Okay, so you need to decipher more stuff that you actually read. If it's too good to be true, you need to be a little bit more investigative and not just take it at face value and read some more and find out if what you're hearing and what you're hearing or what is being told to you is true. So Let's talk about 2020. It was obviously a very difficult year for everyone. It was the year of the rat. So rat being the smallest among the animal signs. And then now it's the ox, which is one of the bigger animal signs. What does it actually mean, or what would be the outcome of such possibly an opposite animal in terms of size?
Sure. So when we think of the ox, for me, three characteristics come to mind. One is it's very hardworking and productive. The ox in many cultures around the world is known as a beast of burden, where it really is, the powerhouse, so to speak, of any agricultural society. And it's been that way for generations, like our Carabao, for example. So this is a good year to be productive, to really work hard to achieve what you have and what you're going to have by the end of the year. So that's kind of one characteristic of a lot of being large. You'll be looked upon to be hardworking and to be productive. The second one with the ox is it's a very helpful animal. So from last year, from the story of the 12 different animals that were racing based on the Buddha or the Jade Emperor's contest, the rat was first, but then he came upon this river. And to cross it, he had to ask the help of the ox. So usually with size and might comes helpfulness. And that's when the ox helped the rat cross. Unfortunately, the rat was very clever and he went first, but then the ox came in second.
Yeah.
So what this means is this is a year to be very helpful and try to help each other. So if there's opportunities where, especially when you mentioned the pandemic last year, some people have recovered, some people quite not. Don't be afraid to lend a helping hand to your close friends, family, even strangers. Knowing that everyone had gone through the same difficult experience last year and some are still trying to get out of it. Be helpful, be kind, just like the ox. One thing though with the ox is because it's very big and powerful, it's also very stubborn. So the word bullheaded. So it thinks that it knows everything and it just plows through with whatever it thinks is right. So the key thing here is try not to be too one-side-minded and try to see other different sides of an argument and have a dialogue with people just so that you don't alienate people.
Okay. Be helpful and be more open-minded. Okay. Because though, Patrick, festivities are discouraged this year in public, will it actually affect luck or any other aspect coming into this new year?
So that's an interesting question because really with feng shui and metaphysics, it's all about what are the energies and how it manifests and what can we do about it. So I think now people are calling this the new normal. So in a way, it's something we've never really experienced before, and this is what we're trying to live with. So what we noticed last year when we've talked to clients about how their year was, even though you have two similar people with maybe the same business or the same type of job, the ones who tended to thrive were the ones who took the information from what was good, for them or in general, and made the most out of it, versus the ones who became more fatalistic or more, like a victim mentality. So I think the key thing really here is the energy is one part of it, but the effort, which is up to you. You put those two together, that's what makes your luck. So it really depends on you how you want to make the best out of the energies, which we'll go over through later on.
Very well said. So let's talk about some of the things that people want to know too. What are the lucky colors this year? I'll tell you, one is gold. That's why I'm wearing gold.
Yeah, so it's
Patrick
the yin
told me
metal
to wear
years.
gold.
I know, so we're turno, right?
Yeah.
So because of the yin metal year, that would be the metallic colors like gold, silver, and then some other good colors as well are the ones that have to do with the lucky elements. So fire and wood are the lucky elements this year. So fire would be red, orange, red tones, and then wood would be more like the green tones. So those would be generally the lucky colors this year. So kind of in my backdrop where I have red and green, those are kind of the lucky colors for this year.
What about lucky businesses this year?
So with the fire and the wood elements, fire has to do with industries such as technology, energy, food, social media, and communications. And that's just a few examples. And if we think about it, fire was actually also lucky last year. And if we look at the pandemic and what happened in the in the global economy, the technology companies, for instance, did particularly well. Where companies like Zoom and TikTok were unknown, and now they're household names. They became a verb. So technology, like last year, is also going to be good this year, and same with the similar other ones. The other element of industries that are good as well is wood, and with wood, the one I want to hone in on is the home industries.
Home
So for home
industry?
industries, correct. This
Okay.
has to do with furniture, with
I
interior
see.
design, with architecture, anything that has to do with design of your home. What's going to happen here is, I think, with working from home a lot, people are going to spend a lot of time and making their
Right.
home office in there. So what a good industry here, which is aligning with the energies, is try to find a way where you can make your service or your product more amenable to people staying at home.
Mm-hmm.
And the people who are already doing like furniture and interior design and whatnot, they already have a leg up. Wood industries as well would be education or training. Unfortunately, there's a lot of virtual environments going on right now, so that's good. They can continue on that. Consultancies are also good, and also the legal industry. So those are some of the good fire and wood industries that are going to be above
Okay.
average this year.
Okay, so how can we prepare ourselves for the Chinese New Year? What should we first do? And then I'm going to go to what to prepare at home.
Sure. So I see it as three phases. The first is kind of the build up. If we think of Christmas, these are the 12 days before Christmas. So you need to do a number of things. You can think of it in these three ways. You need to cleanse yourself so that you're ready for the new year. And this means that you're cleansing yourself from a physical perspective, from an emotional perspective, and from a financial perspective. So from a physical perspective, this would mean cleaning the house, doing spring cleaning so that everything's nice and tidy. And then if you can, get a haircut. Again, be safe and healthy, but it's good if you get a haircut before the new
This
year.
is today,
And
huh?
then on the
Before
emotional
before
side,
tonight.
yeah,
Before New Year's
yes,
Eve.
exactly.
Okay.
Before the new year, correct. One thing you can do also to prepare is on the emotional side. If you've had friends or family members who you haven't got along with last year or even previous years, try to reach out and make amends, because this is going to help you become better mentally and emotionally as you prepare for the new year. And then last is financially. If you have any debts that you
Bayaran
owe
mo
to
na yung
friends
mga
or
utang
family,
mo.
or large debts, you can pay that off as much as you can. So
So
that's preparing for the new year, Pinky.
uh,
And then on the day itself, or the eve itself, which is on the midnight, we have a whole list of things you can do. I want to focus on three things.
okay.
First is in terms of a ritual. First is if you have like a rice container at home, fill it to the brim with rice, and then put an ang pao, or a red envelope with
Yeah.
168 pesos in different denominations inside. What this will signify is overflowing abundance and prosperity throughout the year. It's also good to have flowers, because basically the new year is the beginning of spring when flowers are blooming. So if you have in your home a lot of flowers, that would be good as well. And then last is having some lucky foods and some lucky fruits in your table and with your midnight meal. So fruits, for example, we recommend 5 fruits: the pomelo, the orange, the pineapple, apples, and dragon fruit, and have it in even denominations, either 2 or 4.
Really?
And then there's a whole host of lucky foods that you can have as well, like fish. Anything that's roasted is good. And then, of course, our favorite tikoy. So those are some fruits and foods you can have to celebrate.
Okay, so I'm going to try to repeat what you just said. In your rice cooker, put
Oh,
rice.
sorry. In your rice containers, if you have like a basket or a
I see the
calandria, put all the
container
rice.
itself. Put a red envelope and
Exactly.
put 168 pesos of different denominations. Ipapatong lang yun dun sa lalagyanan or container nung bigas. Tama? Of
That's
the
correct.
bigas.
That's
Okay.
correct.
And then flowers, because it's
Flowers.
yeah. If you have flowers at home, because it's spring, it's supposed to be the start of spring. Tama, no, Patrick? And then uh,
Correct.
with fruits, dragon fruit, oranges, pomelo. But what you suggest is even numbers. So anything even, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
Correct,
All
correct.
right. Now, will your animal sign bring you luck in the year of the metal ox? That's what we all want to find out. Feng Shui expert Patrick Lim Fernandez will still be with us after the break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. We'll be right back. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Our guest today, Feng Shui expert Patrick Lim Fernandez, okay? Now we go to this, what people are waiting for. Are you lucky this year? Let's start with those born on the year of the rat.
Yes, so the rat. So there's a couple things for the rat to look forward to this year. So they have an academic star, which is good for them to learn new things, either professionally, personally, and they can do this, formally or informally. So they can take courses, classes, or they can even just read books or watch YouTube videos, for example. Anything to learn and make yourself better, that's good. The next is they will be having a lot of collaborators this year. So for collaborators, it's better not to do things alone. Always try to have help when you go ahead with your endeavors in your personal life or your professional life. That's one advice there. They have to be careful though about anxiety, because we see that they have this star that makes them very anxious this year and emotionally unstable. So just make sure you're able to do that. If not, this might spill over to the different areas of your life, and you don't want that.
Okay, year of the rat. Let's go to the ox.
So for the ox, so it's your year this year, and it's interesting. Whenever it's your year, it's kind of a complicated relationship with the energies of the year. So the good thing is you're on the spotlight because it's your year, and you get a lot of opportunities to show your talents. And you do have a creativity star this year as well. So you're able to share and create all these different new innovations for services and products. However, be careful because you may have a lot of conflicts as well. So if there's any opportunities you see to avoid quarrels or getting into it with family members or with friends, just try to avoid trouble this year by quarrels or conflict, and you should be better off this year.
Even if you think you're right, try to avoid. Is that so?
Try
to avoid conflicts.
Try to be the bigger person, correct?
Johan, try to be the big. So iwasan na lang yung mga arguments. Sabi nga ni
Yes.
Patrick, try to be the bigger person here. So that's clear, because it's the year of the ox. As Patrick said, it's a little bit complicated. It doesn't necessarily mean if it's the year of the ox and you were born year of the ox that it's all good for you. Di ba, Patrick? That's always been something
Correct.
that we've been talking about.
Correct. Even with my sister Princess. And there's a couple of things the ox can do as well if they want to help even enhance this further. One thing is they can attend or host happy celebrations, and now in this time of the pandemic, they can actually do it with virtually, for example.
Okay.
So another thing they can do is give to charities or to volunteer their time. So anything that promotes generosity, or they're able to genuinely give and selflessly give, that would be another good thing for the ox to do this year as well.
Okay, let's move to the tiger.
The tiger, it's a good year for relationships for the tiger this year, and this could be with your spouse, significant other, with your family, friends, your colleagues, and so on. So try to really nurture these relationships so that you're able to come up with meaningful ways to connect with people, and they should help you not just this year but for years to come. The tiger also has a star called the benefactor or nobleman star, where people in authority will be helping you out. And most likely for the tigers this year, it's going to be coming from males. So if you have any chances to ask for help from males in authority, that's likely where your luck will be coming from. You have to be careful though, because plans may abruptly change. And when they do, just make sure that you're able to pivot quickly and don't be stuck on your current path. If you see that the current way you're doing things is untenable, make a shift, be adaptable, be flexible, and then you should be better off by doing that change.
Okay, that's the tiger. Let's go to the rabbit.
The rabbit this year, unfortunately, doesn't have many positive stars, but the way I frame it is this is could really be a year of growth for the rabbit. There's going to be a lot of challenges and headwinds that they may face, but if they chart out where they want to go eventually by, say, the year end, they'll be able to figure out, hey, this is really where I want to make my mark. And they'll find that maybe at the end of the year, they'll grow a lot more this year than they did in previous years. They have to be careful though on their emotional health because there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. So just try to keep an even keel with your emotions and also be mindful of the health of yourself and also your elders. Just keep in touch with them if you're not in the same household, or if you are in the same household, just make sure they're doing the regimens, they're having a healthy lifestyle and so on.
And what about the dragon?
The dragon. So this year they also have a benefactor star, similar to the tiger, but instead of males in authority, this is going to be coming from females in authority.
Okay.
So this should be interesting. There's going to be this need for asking for help if they want it, but then it's going to be definitely coming from these positions. So if you can cater, if you have a business, for example, and if you can cater to your female market more this year, that should bode well for you. It's going to be good for your career, for your professional advancement as well. And it's also key for you to keep pushing yourself so that you get leadership positions and then you advance. One key thing though for the dragon is you may be tempted to interfere in other people's business when you shouldn't. And if that's the case, just try to, resist the temptation so that you're not interfering again where you shouldn't, and then that might get you into trouble. Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the snake.
So the snake has a couple of good stars this year. In terms of friendships, the snake, the ox, and the rooster are actually like the three friends. So it should bode well for the snake. It has a leadership star, meaning they will have the opportunity to be seen as preeminent in their role, in their position, and their authority will continue to grow. The other thing that the snake has as well this year is an academic star. So similar to the larger energies of the year, if they can continue to push themselves and get out of their comfort zone, they'll be able to learn new things that should help them professionally and personally. They should be careful though about a legal star. Legal in the sense of if you're not careful with contracts or certain details, you might get into legal trouble. So just something to be aware of.
All right, we need to take a very short break. The next animal signs. After the break, this is the source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Our guest today, Feng Shui expert Patrick Lim Fernandez. And then the next 6 animal signs. Let's start with the horse.
Sure. So for the horse, if you're into investments and businesses, congratulations. This is a good year for you to grow your investments. And just make sure that you study these proposals and ideas wisely, but they should bode pretty well if you want to see your money grow this year. Horses also have a lot of reasons to celebrate this year. So if there are these small wins rather than just these big milestones, find ways to, lay back and then get together with friends or family and celebrate. There's always good positive energy that comes about when you celebrate. One thing the horse has to watch out for those is a star called the illegal romance star. So if you remember last year, Pinky, this illegal romance star was with the rooster, and this year it's with the horse.
I see.
So just for the horse to not succumb to temptation and not to go there, so to speak.
Okay, let's go to the goat.
The goat's interesting this year because every animal has its counterpart or conflict, and the goat is in conflict with the ox. So what will happen usually when you're in conflict with the year is there's going to be a lot of challenges, but the key thing is there's going to be a lot of changes. So just make sure that if you're going through these changes, ask for help and people will be willing to help you. Ask for support, but chart out what change you want so that you're getting toward the outcome you want rather than it happening to you. Also watch out for expenses, and these would be more the larger type of expenses. So if, for example, you're not very liquid and you don't have much of an emergency fund, it really recommended to have one so that if these expenses do hit, you have something to go back to.
Okay, let's go to the monkey.
The monkey this year, it's good for relationships, similar to the tiger. So if you're a monkey that's single, this may be a good year for you to find the one. So try to put yourself out there and be bold, and you might find some good luck in that aspect this
Okay.
year. The monkeys also have benefactors. So, and these benefactors are not just male or female, but this is in general. So they'll be getting help from everywhere. So
All
that's
right.
good. So
Yes.
again, if you need help, especially let's say if you're in business, it would be good for you to, if you wanted investors, this would be a good year for monkeys to do that.
Okay.
Just be careful of accidents though, so
Yeah.
that you're not, you don't get into accidents, and just be careful whenever you can.
Okay, Patrick, we don't have a lot of time. What about the rooster?
So the rooster, they have this golden treasure box star. So just recommend here to do a lot of good deeds, and their authority and power will increase. And they should watch out for the star called the float sink star, so that they don't find themselves not moving, but they're always moving quickly.
Okay. Let's go to the dog. Take your time.
Sure. So for the dog, I know why it's special for you. A couple things. One is it's a good year for professional advancement. So you may find yourself with a lot of opportunities this year from a professional side that you didn't have in previous years. So that's good. There's also going to be some unexpected wealth. So the key thing here is when it comes to you, don't spend it all in one place. Make sure you save and invest it wisely. But there should be some good surprises for you this year from the wealth perspective.
Wow.
Two things for the dog, though, is one is be wary of potential conflicts or quarrels. There's a quarrel star this year that might spur conflicts where you least expected. So just be aware of that. And second is there's an emotional star again. I know in the past 2 years, this star has been stubborn with the dog, and this year again. Fortunately, next year it's leaving the dog and moving somewhere else.
Finally.
But the emotional star will still be there this year to just keep an even base on
I
your
see.
emotions, and you
Okay.
should.
Let's go to the pig.
So for the pig, there's a travel star this year, so it's good for your personal side and also on the work side. But just be careful of any potential loss of your belongings or your health, and just pay attention to the health of your loved one, just so that everything will be good for the year.
Okay, just final words, Patrick.
So this year should be a lot less volatile, more calm than last year for sure. Some key things to remember is like the ox, be productive, be hardworking, be helpful. And then lastly, from the academic perspective, never stop improving yourself. Always keep learning. Make sure you're making yourself better today than yesterday, and better tomorrow than today.
Thank you so much to you, Feng Shui expert Patrick Lim Fernandez. Good to have you again, Patrick.
Okay, thank you.
And thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.